It's finally here, the bow hunting instructional video you've been waiting for. So You Want to Be a Bow Hunter is the definitive back to basics guide for bow hunters at any level, whether you're just getting ready to buy your first bow or you're already an experienced hunter. We've gathered the most knowledgeable team of bow hunters ever onto one video. Greg Miller, Bob Foulkrod, Stan Potts, Steve Puppy, Wayne Carlton, Ralph Sansarillo, David Pierce, Pat Reeve, Mark June, and Dale Larson all give you insights into their combined 200 years of hunting experience. The HS Pros will give you step-by-step instruction on selecting the proper bow, choosing the right arrows and broadheads, proper shooting techniques, clothing, scents and lures, scouting for success, shot placement, proven hunting tactics, and much more. So You Want to Be a Bow Hunter, new from HS Video. Pick it up at sporting goods stores everywhere or at your local archery shop today.
Right there, coming behind us. Is that cool or what? He's gonna get around me. That was a big man. I mean, that was a big one. I absolutely love this game.
I can hear that chicken grunting out there.
That was a good buck. And here comes another one. We might get a fight on our hands. There's a buck coming in from the right. There's a good one coming in behind him.
I see. Here he comes.
That was the biggest buck I ever laid my eyes on in my life. Oh my God.
Who says you can't run in bucks in the early season, man? Way to go.
I know there's some bigger ones here, so stay tuned because it's going to get exciting.
The true talker did it.
He's down.
Oh, I can't believe it.
Yes!
I'm totally shook up. Just give me a second. You know,
We begin the season on September 18th at Buffalo County Outfitters in Mondovi, Wisconsin. Noted whitetail author and pro staff member Greg Miller and outfitter Ted Marham took time 6 weeks before the season in the heat of summer to hang stands in the most promising spots. Greg hopes that by doing this well before season, he won't disturb deer when the season opens. Now, it's hunting season, and Greg's first evening setup is near a drying waterhole. It would seem like a promising spot, but what Greg Miller hunt would be complete without something unexpected happening to Greg?
This is our third evening of hunting, and we're sitting by a water hole. That dried up. We've got an excellent stand. We had fresh scrapes around it. Wind is wrong to hunt that. So we've got this backup spot here and got the pickup hid down here in this hollow. I'm going to walk up to the top of the hill and just make sure there's nothing out in the fields before we walk out there. Okay, here's the deal. We've got a pretty lush alfalfa field up here on top on this side hill. We've got a standing soybean field down there. It's late planted, a lot of green leaves on it yet. Deer have really been hitting it, hitting the leaves. Bucks are probably bedding up on those benches on that side hill. North-facing slope. It's been kind of warm, mid-70s. Our stand site is down in that corner. We know the deer like to sneak through that CRP and that heavier cover to come out into the beans. So we're going to get down there. It's been kind of windy today. The wind is supposed to die down. In fact, it's supposed to die down to nothing just later this afternoon. So we're hoping it happens.
The way there, and he just came out in that alfalfa field. He's a long ways away, but he's out early. We're set up here on the edge of a bean field that was planted a little bit later. It's still got green leaves on it, but that buck there is out in the alfalfa. Ironically, right where we walked in. There's a buck right there, right on the edge of the beans. Just stepped out of the woods. See that rub right by him? There's a rub right by his hind leg. Just to see what he does.
buddy. All right, you got him. That jinx is broken, buddy.
The jinx is broke. I can sum it up real quick as we had that buck out there at, I don't know, 60, 70 yards, feeding in the beans with a smaller buck. Pulled the true talker out of my vest, blew on it. He snapped his head up, blew on it again. He listened, he went back to feeding, so I blew on it again. I blew on it about 5 or 6 times. The little buck came over here, right under us, and he couldn't stand it. And he came walking over here, running actually. Pat got him, I think, running across the beans to come over here. So grunted him in with the true talker on September 28th. Who says you can't grunt in bucks in the early season, man?
Way to go. Way to go,
Yeah.
Mr. Miller.
If we'd had a decoy out, he'd have been here sooner. But the true talker did it. The true talker, yes, the true talker. He should be right here somewhere. Yep, there he is, right here. All right. That's it, man.
Hey, all
Early
right.
season whitetail. Oh, man. A little heavier than I thought. It's got the tine length I thought he had. And he's got the brows that I knew he had. Well, it don't get no better than this. September 28th, blew on the true talker. The little buck made a beeline right towards us, and as far as I know, this is the first buck in the can, so to speak, for the video. It's early season, and I'm wishing the rest of the HS Pro staffers and the people involved in the deer hunting video PrimeTime Bucks 5, best of luck, best of luck. I hope all your big buck dreams come true.
Now, here's a primetime tip.
Have you ever gotten into your stand and found that branches are blocking your shooting lanes? Well, try this. Take your Gerber saw and cut a small sapling to use as a pole. Trim off the upper limbs, leaving about 8 feet. Then take some Nomar tape and tape your saw to the narrow end of the pole. Once you're in your stand, you can reach those branches and clear your shooting lanes.
Let's move ahead several weeks and to the west several states. The days are getting shorter and cooler. HS Pro staffer Rick White is well known for his turkey hunting skills, but this fall he's hunting whitetail in eastern Nebraska at the Cross J Ranch. Owner and outfitter Randy Stewart has set Rick up with a 6-day hunt that promises to be a good one. While Rick is very accustomed to dealing with wildlife other than what he's hunting, I really don't think this is what Rick had in mind.
Have you ever seen this many crows in your life? They were right here. I couldn't hear a deer walking in if my life depended on it. There's a pile of them over there. Here comes some turkeys. They're just feeding. Walking right down there in front of us. They're starting to jump on that log. Geez, that's all I need. Stand there and take a nap. Some of them are still feeding, some of them are just relaxing. Kind of looks like they're finally starting to leave. I was gonna have to sit here like a statue for an hour. Yeah, there they go. When the coyotes start howling, it's time to pack up and go.
These breaks run down into the canyon. The deer like to bed in these breaks. This canyon bottom here is about 100 yards wide. The deer like to browse through here. I find most of my rubs and scrapes down in the bottom also, and that's why I chose this stand location.
For the next few days, Rick encounters several smaller deer, but not the one he's looking for. He even gets a look at a 1.5-year-old mule deer that strolls through. But it's his final day when he sees the buck he's been waiting for.
Right there, we've got the wind blowing back away from us. It's good wind for us. There's a buck. There's a buck. He's out there about 40 yards. He's a shooter. He's a shooter. Oh no. It looks like he's going to walk the other way. He's turning. I think I got a good shot on him. There, you get my heart stopping, racing here. He was a good buck. I just happened to spot him coming in from about 40 yards out. He made a scrape. Oh, about 20 or 30 yards out. He came in and presented a broadside shot. I think I made a good shot on him. It's been almost a half hour. Get over here and grab my arrow. Oh, I got good blood. I want to walk over and take a look at the scrape that this deer made at. Wow. It's amazing how big that scrape is with just a couple sweeps. Let's go find that deer. Here's blood. Went right down through here. There's blood. Here's blood. There's blood. Oh, it looks like he's going across this swamp. I hope we don't lose blood here. Yeah, here's blood. Here's blood. Yes! Here he is. Woo-hoo-hoo! Oh, man. Oh, what a great deer. Man, we have hunted hard here. Persistence paid off in this hunt. We've seen deer skirting around us. We knew if we hung in this stand and stayed long enough, we saw a lot of good rubs and some scrapes starting to pop up. We knew that persistence would pay off, and it did. I'm gonna get this tagged, field dressed. Got to run back and grab my Polaris, get it down here, and haul this deer on out of here. What a way to end a hunt here at Cross J Ranch in Nebraska.
Now here's Bob Foulkrod with a primetime tip.
You know, it's impossible to get to your tree stand in leaves like this without making noise. So think of yourself as a deer. When you're walking, just visualize your mind that you sound like a deer. Get out of that human cadence. Think of trying to walk up on your buddy and he can't get around to turn around and see whether it's a human or whether it's a deer. So you walk a little bit, stop and look a little bit. You got all the time in the world to get to that stand. It's your stand. Take care of it.
It's the 28th of October, and Pro Staff member Eddie Salter is in Kansas with Joe Reinert of Walnut River Outfitters. Joe shows Eddie the carefully planned food plots and woods surrounding this part of the Walnut River. Cut soybean fields combined with clover and alfalfa should be a perfect mix for a healthy deer population. But Eddie knows that looking at a map is only the starting point when choosing an area to hunt. He decides to do a little scouting before the hunt and finds a very promising area. A small bottleneck in the woods near a feeder creek seems like a logical place. Eddie finds that this area has plenty of rub and scrape activity. Just the kind of promising signs he needs to make a decision. Now all he needs is a nearby tree for his stand.
I feel good about this stand this afternoon. You know, a lot of times self-confidence means a lot, and I feel good about this.
Eddie's stand is not only in a bottleneck, but also has a highway nearby which should keep the deer pushed his way. It's not long before he spots a doe coming out of the creek bottom. As the morning progresses, the activity increases.
He's down.
Thank you, good Lord.
Gotta take a deep breath. I could hear that deer grunting out there. Looked like he had a drop time and he had some long G2s. He's a big-bodied deer.
Thank you, good Lord.
I'd give him about 45 minutes. He's fell over right there. He ain't going nowhere. Normally I would go pick my mare up, but I'm gonna walk straight to her. We'll take a look at it. Oh, that's a big-bodied deer.
A 7-point. He's got a broke briar time. I thought this was maybe a drop time that was coming down over here. This buck, he's got good 10 inches or better G2s. I tell you what, you're still big enough to ride home with Eddie Salter.
Now here's a primetime moment. The fall 2000 whitetail season was a spectacular one for the HS camera crews. We saw more big buck activity than in any other year. Pro staffer Matt Moret caught a fleeting glimpse of this monster buck as he moved through a thick patch of public land in southeast Iowa.
That was the biggest buck I ever laid my eyes on in my life. I only got to see him for a split second, but oh my God.
This might be one of the biggest bucks ever captured on camera. This world-class typical could push a Boone and Crockett score of 200 inches or more. As far as we know, he's still out there. And speaking of monsters, get a load of this one. This giant is the new Wisconsin state record taken by Ken Shane of St. Cloud, Minnesota, while he was hunting in Buffalo County, Wisconsin. I don't think Ken believes in bad luck on Friday the 13th, because that's the day he took this monster in October. It grossed 207 typical and netted 189 7/8. Now that is a monster. If you know anything about big bucks, then you know why we're hunting Iowa. It's November 3rd, and Kyle Hicks is the guest of Midwest USA Outfitters. Kyle has already been here once, scouting and hanging stands in early October. Kyle and guide Todd Hughes spend almost as much time studying the aerial maps as they do walking the woods. And when it came time to hunt, every stand got Kyle close to deer. Tall racks, big racks, and deer of all sizes. But with all the company that visited Kyle's stands, the right opportunity just hadn't materialized. As the week drew to a close, Kyle began to wonder if he'd ever get a shot at a big Iowa whitetail.
Over the past 5 days now, we've had rain, wind, sunny weather, freezing rain, and snow. This morning, it's cloudy, and the wind chill's about 4 degrees. And I tell you what, the weather's perfect for deer movement if we're in the right spot, and I feel that we are. Now excuse me while I go change my clothes.
As the temperatures continued to plummet to minus double-digit wind chills, Kyle so far had only spotted one small buck. By 11 o'clock, he had decided to call it quits.
Give it to about 12, 12:30 tops. I'm freezing. All right, I see.
Yeah, we were just about ready to give up on this morning. We were sitting out here freezing to death. My toes are numb, my whole foot's numb. And I was just telling my cameraman, Nate White here, I said, we'll give it till 12:30. He said, here he comes. I said, okay. And the deer come in. Did perfect. Did perfect. Tater time, man. Give it to me, Nate, right here.
That's exciting. He's not a stud, but I tell you what, he's a nice deer. He had a lot of attitude about him. This is about where I hit him at. I know he's down. I know exactly where he's at. But I still like to come down and see, you know, just to look at it. And I'm always amazed at what those thunderhead broadheads do to these deer. It is unbelievable. You always get a good blood trail.
He bled pretty good through here. And there he is. He's balled up in there. All right. How you like that? He's not a hog, but he's a nice buck.
1, 2, 3, 4, 8 point. Look how polished clean he is down here from rubbing trees. Look like he's been rubbing them on a whetstone. Golly. Man, that's nice. I tell you what, that was a very enjoyable hunt this morning. It's been an enjoyable time here in Iowa.
Now here's a primetime tip with Matt Moran.
This particular stand right here, we got set up for an east wind because hopefully to bring the deer across this ridge and have the wind in their favor and the wind in our favor. But the only problem I had when selecting this stand was trying to find a tree that had enough cover, and I couldn't find one. So I had to make my own. Just cut down some leaves and some deadfalls, put it around there just enough to break up my outline. Keep myself out of that deer's point of view.
Less than 40 miles down the road and on the same spot on the calendar, HS Pro staffer Stan Potts is hunting at the southeast Iowa farm of Don and Candy Kiske. These rolling hills and hardwood forests are a deer hunter's dream. Stan gets even more pumped when Don shows him the rack off a 175-inch buck he took a week earlier.
Gee whiz, Donnie.
What do you think of that?
Oh, man, you just shot this one when?
About a week and a half ago.
A week and a half ago. What's that deer score?
He grossed 177, but the gross typical frame was 175. Nice bottom.
Stan's first stand is near a bean field, and he's hoping for the deer to come from the woods.
Big buck, right there, coming behind us. Big buck coming in right there, in the bean field.
This double drop-tine buck has been observed by Don for over 8 years and is very keen in surviving in his environment.
Gonna get our wind.
Even though Stan has done everything he can to remain scent-free, older bucks like this one are much more aware if something isn't right in the woods. That's how they become older bucks.
Hey, we got our wind. That is a giant buck. That buck right there is 9 or 10 years old. Did you see the body on that deer? What a giant. Came from absolutely the opposite direction we expected him to in the morning. You know, what a monster deer. That deer's a 300-pound plus deer. That is just the first morning, just got started.
Stan relocates the next day, and guess who shows up? This time, he walks right past Stan, just out of bow range. 2 days later, Stan is in a different stand in the thicker woods, and it doesn't take long for the perfect 6x6 buck to show up.
This is our third evening here in Iowa. We just got in the tree. It's about 3 o'clock. Should be an awesome evening. Right there. Pat, right there. He's a monster. It's that big 6x6. senses something's not right. There he goes up the hill. Can you believe that? That deer was less than 20 yards between me and the camera stand. No way for a shot. Boy, oh boy, it does not get any closer than that without it happening. What a giant deer. Hey, I absolutely love this game. This is, I don't understand why everybody doesn't do it. Whew. Hey, well, let's hang right in. It's early. Let's get the next one.
On the fifth morning of Stan's hunt, he sets up near a partially cut cornfield. Maybe this is the spot.
Deer right over there behind him, right across the creek. Big buck, he's following the doe. Big buck right there coming down the creek. Boy, I hope she comes over here. She crosses that creek and comes over here. We got him. He's gonna come right by us. There he goes over the hill. That looked like a good hit. Yes. I mean, this has been a great hunt. This is the fifth morning of our 6-day hunt. We're probably going to have to leave this afternoon because a major ice and snowstorm coming. Some tremendous encounters. We're in Iowa. Give me a second. Give me a second. I think that's a double beam buck that Donnie's been telling us about. I'm totally shook up. Just give me a second here. I'm done. He is, I am so happy. Looked like a great hit right behind the front shoulder. Kicked both hind legs. That's a real good sign. He is a tremendous deer, tremendous buck. I'm beside myself. I don't know what else to say. It is just, it's just been a great hunt. We've had encounters with a huge double drop, big 8-point with double drops. We've had a tremendous encounter with a 6x6 typical at 17 yards. Couldn't get the shot because the camera stand was between me and the deer and it was just too dangerous. We've just stuck it out day after day after day, spent hour after hour in the stand. This is the 11th of November. Hey, it doesn't get any better than this.
Way to go.
Thanks, Pat. Here. 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 He made the timber, didn't he? Right there's some blood. Right there's blood on the grass. Right there's blood on the leaves. He's went right past to the right of this tree. Right there's blood. He's turned right here. Right here's blood. Right there's the buck, right there. Whew. Look at that buck. I knew it was a double beam buck. Look at it. Oh my God. Whew. What a giant. Whew. Look at this, look at this. Look at that rack. Look at that big double beam. What a giant. A big non-typical. It does not get any better. Oh, I can't tell you how happy I am. Let's count him up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 point. Look at that monster. Look at that giant deer right there. Look at the character in that rack. A big double beam. Even started some G-tines off of it. What a monster. What a monster. What a hunt. Dark rack. I love that color. We're going to get him tagged. Go get the truck.
go find Don and Candy, and we're going to come and get him, and we are going to celebrate.
Remember that big double drop tine buck that got by Stan on 2 separate occasions? Well, Don Kiske was able to get a shot at him on January 3rd during Iowa's late muzzleloader season. Congratulations, Don. Here's Greg Miller with a primetime tip.
Here's something that I've taken to doing the last few years, and unfortunately I see too many people get their clothes out and spray them down. They do it right on the tailgate or right near the truck, and they're probably getting their clothing contaminated as fast as they're trying to, use the scent away on it. What I like to do is bring it out, lay it a safe distance away from the truck on the ground, and then use my scent away spray. Now, some of you might be thinking, hey, there might be something on the ground here that's going to contaminate the clothing, but when you think about it, anything on the ground here is native to the area, and it's not going to be alarming to the deer. So I just think this is a better way to do it.
It's November 10th, and the rut is in full swing in Illinois. HS Pro staffer Alex Rutledge is at Arrowhead Ridge near Root House, Illinois. Illinois has always been known as a monster deer haven, and Alex hopes the recent cold snap will put him on some hot bucks ready for action.
Ooh. Hey guys! Hey bud, how was your trip? Pretty good, man. It's cold out here.
Yeah, Alex, how you been, buddy?
Come on inside.
Owner Jim Loftus and head guide John Will have encouraging news about the deer movement, and Alex wastes no time in getting into the field that afternoon to start his hunt.
This is stand location number 1 down at the end of the corn down here, probably 300 or 400 yards. The reason I elected this site was because, one, they've been seeing a lot of good deer there, but also it's a transition funnel area.
Alex's first stand is near a cornfield and shows signs of heavy travel. He doesn't have to wait long before a hot doe comes through, followed by a nice buck.
Yeah. What do you do? He's walking. He's 1:45. You can't take the shot. I couldn't get him to stop. When he stops, he's 16 steps in the brush. No open shot. Great spot. Jim put us on him, but I didn't come through. This is only the first day.
Based on what he's observed over the past few days, Alex chooses a different stand location for his final evening.
Talk about some beautiful country here in Illinois. We've got 2 big ridges running into this bottom down here. And the bottom, we've got our stand set in between 3 hot scrapes. And on the back side of us, we've got a cornfield. Stan Potts, my pro staff brother, and I found this about a month ago. We found this here funnel area. Hopefully, if anything comes off these points, I'm going to intercept them going into the corn. It looks real good, and it looks pretty promising. I hope it happens here. I mean, I had it right on him. Put my 30-yard pin on him. That was a pig, man. I mean, that was a big one. I'm gonna get down before it gets dark and find out to make sure. It looked good. Right here. I didn't hit him.
By the time this deer circled the stand, Alex and cameraman Mike Cooley were more than 6 feet apart. Alex did have a clear shot under the tree branch, but the quick reflexes of this lucky buck allowed him to duck under Alex's arrow. It's November 18th, and pro staffer and chief videographer Pat Reeve is in Mondovi, Wisconsin at Ted Marham's Buffalo County Outfitters. This hilly area near the Mississippi River is prime habitat for huge whitetails. But this story begins over a year ago when Pat filmed this wide-racked drop-tine buck in velvet in August of 1999. Further investigation produced the sheds from that deer, which told Pat that this magnificent buck had survived the season and was still roaming the woods. Ted routinely uses trail monitors to keep track of buck activity and has several pictures of large bucks that cruise the area, including this large buck with double brow tines. 2 weeks earlier, during Pat's November 1st hunt in Buffalo County, he finally came face to face with the monster drop tine he observed for so long. This year, the buck doesn't have the drop, but rest assured it's the same animal. At first, it appears the buck doesn't respond to Pat's grunting. Thinking the buck has walked off, the camera turns to get a shot of Pat in his stand. As suddenly as he disappeared, the buck reappears, walking right towards them. Chances are this buck picked up the silhouette of the two in the tree, proving how difficult it is to hunt with a camera in your stand.
Here goes the buck of my dreams. I don't know how to tell you how big that buck was.
That was definitely the buck of a lifetime for any hunter, and Pat's reaction mirrors his disappointment at a missed opportunity. During that same outing, Pat also has a close encounter with the double brow tine buck that Ted had the trail monitor shots of. But once again, this clever buck stays just out of range behind some thick brush and never offers Pat a clean shot. But like any good hunter, Pat knows he must remain persistent and keep trying. Which brings us back to November 18th, snow on the ground, and the first day of Wisconsin gun season. For several hours, Pat sits patiently in his stand. Does continue to move past him, pushed up the ridge by the shotgun hunting pressure in the fields below. After several hours, he catches a glimpse of something coming through the trees.
It's a big one. He's down. He's down, dude. Right, baby. Dear. I can't even talk right now. I shot when he was down there, and I didn't know if I hit him or not because he didn't act like it. Oh, my luck has changed here in Wisconsin. I'm so nervous I can't even stand it. Oh my gosh! Would you look at this thing? Yes! He's at least 160, but just a horse of a body. Oh, yes! I wish everybody on that PrimeTime Bucks video good luck because I know this one's gonna make it. Yes!
Here's an update on Pat's big double brow tine buck. On December 22nd, Pat was back at Buffalo County Outfitters and took that deer with a bow. And what became of the big drop tine buck? Well, landowner Dan Hansen took him during the final day of Wisconsin muzzleloader season. By comparing the sheds collected over the past 5 years, one can really get a good idea of how this amazing buck developed. Here's another primetime moment. Being an outdoorsman isn't all about hunting. Spend enough time in the woods, you'll run across some very unique things, as did Pat Reeve when he and his friends found this newly born albino fawn several years ago. But we'll let Pat tell the story.
The first time I found the albino fawn was in the spring of 1997. Well, I was turkey hunting with my buddies in Wisconsin. I first thought it was a white trash bag or something, but on closer examination, I couldn't believe my eyes. When I saw that albino fawn, it was just like I won the lottery. Oh, it was really exciting. I'll never forget it. You know, I think I read somewhere that the odds of finding an albino in the wild are about 1 in every 36,000. That makes it even more special when you have a camera to actually capture it as we did that day, trying to film a turkey hunt. We didn't see her at all in the fall of 1997, and in the spring of 1998, we happened to see her again out in the cornfield eating on corn stalks. After the spring of 1998, the albino, white in appearance, played a disappearing act, if you can believe that or not. We didn't catch back up with her until the fall of 1999 with her fawns. You know, in the fall of 1999, she had 2 brown fawns. But in the spring of 2000, she had 3 brown fawns. So she was actually doing a good job at producing fawns. Now this is where the story gets real interesting. Later that summer, we filmed this great big giant Boone and Crockett class-sized buck in the same area as we saw the albino doe. So we had to wonder if this big buck had anything to do with the albino and her fawns. Well, a couple months later, we got our answer. During the peak of the rut, John Charles, a local landowner, filmed the spectacular footage of this great big buck breeding the albino doe. John Charles is also an avid bow hunter, and 2 weeks after he shot that footage, he was in the right spot at the right time and was able to harvest this magnificent animal. This buck's story doesn't end here though. His genetics are being passed on through the albino and other does in the area. As a hunter and a videographer, I feel very fortunate enough to be able to get out and experience and document the life of such a unique animal. You'll be glad to know that even though we had a severe winter in 2000, I was lucky enough to film the albino on March 15, 2001. I'm really looking forward to bringing you an update in the future.
According to Deer and Deer Hunting magazine, 30 states have recorded albino deer sightings, and 6 states protect them by law. It's very cold, and the peak of the rut in Iowa. At the same time Pat is in Wisconsin, Pro Staff member Bob Foulkrod is in Iowa hunting with J&S Trophy Hunts and outfitter Steve Shute. J&S provides hunts in northeast Missouri and southeast Iowa. This year, Bob has elected Iowa as his preference. His first afternoon in the stand tells him volumes about how the deer are behaving during prime time.
How's that for natural cover-up? I turned them loose, taught him to walk around my tree stand. Working good. Got a big doe in back of us. Just a doe. This time of year, you never know what's going to happen. But that doe was telling you a story. That doe stood there and kept looking back. And then it fed, and it kept looking back, waiting for that little buck to come back and chase it. You never know it's a little buck. It could have been the big one you was waiting for. But the body language of that deer was telling you she was waiting for that buck to catch up.
I'm gonna leave this bag right here. And if I come out, need to shed down, I'll have it right here. This is my dressing spot and undressing spot. Always check which way the wind's blowing. Spray my boots down with some cone yarn. That's one of the most important things I believe you can do. right now. I don't know exactly where I hit. I think I had a good shot. It might be just a titch right. Just a titch forward, but we're gonna wait. We're gonna give it a good hour. We're just gonna sit down and wait it out. Listen as long as we can. Not gonna carry everything over there. It's one of the mornings where you think you did, but you really don't know. You know, you got a happy and a sad feeling at the same time. So let's go look. There's my arrow. Oh, it didn't go through him. It didn't go through him. About 10 inches. There's where he jumped, right there. It's one thing about bow hunting. You can be on top of the world one minute and be right in the bottom of the barrel the next. And right now, I'm halfway between the barrel. I got good blood, but I'm just still unsure. Frosty morning, the blood's showing up good. Keeps right on going. Yep, he's starting to bleed good now. Starting to bleed real good now. This is encouraging. There he is. All right, I'm on top of the world again now. Oh man, look at that. I'll tell you what, hunting's a lot like playing sports, football or basketball or hockey. I mean, you work hard to make a goal, you work hard to make a nice clean harvest, and right there's a good harvest. But it all came together. I mean, we did everything right. We dressed at the truck, we sprayed down, we put coon urine on our feet. We got in there nice and quiet. I mean, it was 45 minutes before it was light and we had bucks all over us. We had a hot doe. This buck, we had another buck just almost like him, right smacking under a tree stand. They stood there and looked at us, or looked at each other until it was daylight. There's nothing like bow hunting in a good set of hardwoods. This is a good Iowa buck. Here with Steve Shoup and J&S trophies. I've hunted with Steve several times, and I'll tell you folks, you just don't get much better than that right there.
Here's Bob with another prime time tip.
This is just down below my stand. Again, what this deer can be doing, no matter which way the wind's blowing, is he can stay up on one of these ridges and smell this scrape. He can tell whether another buck's been coming in, or doe's been coming in. And when you get next to a scrape, don't be kneeling down, don't be grabbing branches. Make sure you got something on the bottom of your boots like a coon urine or even a straight deer urine. But don't be messing around. This is his domain. This is his territory. It's his living room. He knows exactly what's going on. So if you must come next to it, make sure you're as scent-free as possible. From the boots to the top of your head, don't be reaching out and grabbing no sticks or anything.
It's now November 20, and Pat Reeve has traveled to Kansas to try his luck with a bow. Pat takes a high vantage point to observe what stage the buck and doe activity is in before his hunt, and is optimistic when he sees this nice buck chasing a hot doe. A very encouraging sight for any hunter when coming to a new area. Pat sets out early the next morning to his stand and thinks this hunt is in the bag when after only a few minutes, this buck comes strolling in following the scent of a doe that had moved through earlier.
He's too far. He's too far. He's chances. It's our first morning in the stand. Just getting light. We look out in that cornfield or pick milo field, and a buck was going across there. And he come on a beeline right for us. I thought for sure we were going to be done within 10 minutes. He went down around that little patch of woods and disappeared, but I'm actually glad he didn't come in because I know there's some bigger ones here. So, hey, like I said, welcome to Kansas and stay tuned because it's going to get exciting. We got out of our stands this morning because I don't think that we're in the right spot. So we're going to get in on the riverbank here. And we're going to walk down and check where there's more sign. When you come to a new spot, you got to go out and you got to scout. And you might as well do it right away. That way the rest of the week will be more productive. Big rub up here. Oh, this is what we're looking for. Pretty high. That's a great indication of just how big the buck is that's rubbing on here, is how high it is. He's probably got a pretty tall rack. You can see how he shredded everything at the bottom of the tree. So he's probably got lots of beadwork too, so that indicates to me that that's a more mature deer.
Pat's one of those hunters that never stops scouting. Based on a morning scout, Pat finds a flat near the river that provides a perfect funnel.
Let's set up right in here. You can see good. River on the side, and there's a pasture right out there. You can just start to see the cows through there, so this has got them pinched down. Perfect spot to bring them right into us. I know there's a lot of bedding area up here in front of us, and that's where the deer are right now. But I think they can hear us rattle, so we're gonna get set up right here. Matt? There he goes. There he goes. He is down. He is down. Yes. I got him. Yeah, baby. Blake, we got him, buddy. Oh, he just fell right over. He ran about 40 yards. He's down. I just saw him go down. Oh, he was standing right here. Right there is right. I was standing right there, only 20 yards right where those little cedars are. And you can see Blake's, he's got his tripod right only 20 yards away. He was standing
broadside right here in the wide open, stopped him and nailed him. Here's my arrow right here. Oh yeah. Almost got a pass through. It stopped, went in. I saw him run off with it in, sticking out of him, but Spitfire, I think, did the job. I saw him go down up here. I know he went right down this trail along the river. Sure enough, here's some blood, here's some blood. There he is right there. Look at that buck. Woo-hoo! Thank you, Lord. Look at the brow tines on him. Oh, man, what a nice deer. Oh my gosh. Look at this deer. Oh, look at the brows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 points. Oh, this is a... Look at the characteristic of this brow tine. What a beauty. What a nice deer. I can't wait to tell everybody back home at HS that I am done in Kansas. Yes!
Here's another primetime tip with Greg Miller.
If you ever want to age a rub, if you ever have a perfect example of aging a rub, now this snow has been here. The last snowfall was just a few days ago, probably 4 or 5 days ago. Look at this rub, or these rubs, there's actually 2 of them, and look at the bark on top of the snow. And that rub had to have been made in the last 4 or 5 days, because that's when we had our last snowfall, and that bark would be covered up with snow if it had been made before that. So this is January 4th. These rubs were made after the first of the year, I would say. It's great. There's something I want to show you over here. There's a great little rub deal here. Kind of scoped this out already. Here's another rub from years ago, and he's probably rubbed it in other years, and then he rubbed it again this year, although not lately, because there's no bark on top of the snow. Here's another old rub. Look at here. I mean, you talk about, you know, and I've written about it. I've given seminars about how these deer will rub in the same general areas year after year. This is a perfect example. Pat, I don't know if you can get that up there. You want to talk about predicting, you know, a buck's line of travel, and you got it here because you can see it in the snow. Rub, 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 right out the edge and right up into the thick cover. This is classic. It's great stuff, and it's encouraging, man. We're pumped for the hunt.
Let's face it, December is a cold, cold month. You can either take your chances with frostbite or go south. Bob Foulkrod's no stranger to ugly weather, but if you have the opportunity, why not go to Texas in December? Bob is the guest of Roy McAdams, who operates the Noliashi Ranch, and Ed Tiblius of Triangle T Outfitters.
Tell you what, we got a beautiful sunset, full moon going on.
Yes, sir. Look at that, there's deer standing on the point.
I like it already.
Well, it's about time y'all got here. Well, we run a little behind schedule.
Bob Foulkrod.
Roy McAdams.
Nice to meet you, sir.
How you doing, Roy? What do you say, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome to Noliashi Ranch.
I appreciate it. I'll tell you what, we seen that sunset coming in. We see the full moon. We got it all.
Come over and sit down with the fire here. We'll have something to eat here in a few minutes.
Hey, look here. I mean, you know, some people have dogs for a pet, but Roy, I tell you what, this is the first time I've ever been in a deer camp that had a deer for a pet.
Yeah, you'll be careful. She'll hook you now if you're not. She's a dandy. She's kind of part of the family.
Little orphan?
Yeah, she's an orphan. She came in here to us, and matter of fact, came right up to the lodge.
I'll be darned.
Yeah, and she had her eyes were infected, and I guess she was looking for a friend, and she found them.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a dandy. She looks plenty healthy right now. Oh, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, that's one of the hardest things right there for hunters to do is to explain to a non-hunter how you can look at that fawn right there and tell you how beautiful it is and still want to go hunting the next day.
Yeah, but it's not only the beauty and the love for the animal, but the respect for the life of that animal.
You got it right there. It's called respect, you know?
Respect, exactly.
Even though Bob is anxious to start hunting right away, he wants to take some time to get a first-hand look at what he's getting into. so he spends his first morning simply watching deer. From his viewing post, Bob can see the only green field found for miles. Every deer in the area is coming there to feed. Needless to say, Bob has found where he wants to hunt.
You know, Roy, some people have dogs for pets, you know?
Well, I tell you, I don't think a dog would survive here. Gosh, what was that?
Yeah, I think she felt that instinct coming out.
Maybe it's a gun. What kind of bag you got?
Oh, I keep my clothes in that, you know, and you know, I take them out of the washer and dry them, and instead of leaving them in the camp exposed to everything, it keeps all the camp smells and everything off like that, you know. I'll get out in the field, and when you drop me off, then I'll start putting my outer clothes and things on. It just keeps all the scent out, especially when we're hunting them big bucks, you know. I mean, you do your part to get them big, you know, and we try to do our part to get close to them.
The only way you're going to pull this off is you better be totally scent-free. Camouflage, scent-free, not moving much. Around this point, we should be able to cover this whole field. 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we already got probably 20 deer in this field. Wind's in our face. We got everything working for us. We're up against this mesquite tree. We got 4 little bucks in here chasing. It's right in the second rut in Texas.
If you've ever tried to videotape or had a friend videotape your hunt, you know how hard it is to keep the hunter and cameraman on the same page. With so many deer and so much action in front of them, Bob and veteran cameraman Ray Moulton give a clinic on how 2 old pros work together to get the job done.
Lose him, Chief. He's behind you.
He might come up. I doubt it. He'll probably go this way.
See if he can lean back a little.
I can lean back, but I can't shoot him.
Yes, I can. He's right behind you, Chief. I can't see. I got him now, but you can't shoot. As soon as you move, you cover him up.
No, I got him too.
I can see him now, but
We gamble, get down.
I don't know. I kind of like gambling that he's gonna walk to the where we can shoot him. You got your shooting sticks?
No. I'd have to get on that tree over there.
needs to take a step. He comes out to where that doe is.
If he takes a step to the left, I'm gonna lose him behind your shoulder.
That doe's gonna run there in a minute.
If you shoot right now, I got him. But don't lean to the right.
Are you on him?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Ah, good buck. Good buck. Oh. That's the one we was after right there. Oh, fantastic. Oh, that's nerve-wracking. Whew. When you're sitting on the edge of the field like this, I want to tell you what, being totally scent free is all it's about. That's good. That's a good buck. It's like any buck, man. You can't wait to get your hands onto him. I know he is. I watched him go down over here. Look at that. There's a deer that didn't ground shrink. Oh, patience, hunting a good spot. Look at the brow tines and a little kicker up here. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's a 10 mainframe 8 with 2 little stickers. Just a nice Texas deer. We're gonna get some mesquite, start ourselves a campfire, and we're gonna have backstraps for supper.
With another primetime tip, here's Bob.
Anytime you're putting those twist ties on, use some gloves. Pros and cons of using orange. Visually, you can see this coming out at nighttime or in the daytime if you happen to walk in. At nighttime, you got the twist ties. Okay, so when your light hits them, they're going to show up. Now, if you're hunting where you don't want people to know, okay, you want to make sure that you leave the orange off, okay? I like to leave them right here where my headlight's going in, or even a little bit lower. So as you're walking in, all you got to do is your head goes up and down with your light, and right there they are.
Western Texas is becoming a great place to hunt whitetail, especially in mid-December. And that's exactly where HS Pro staffer Thomas Neuberger is headed. These vast flats of brush and mesquite trees are an ideal habitat for mature deer. Thomas is hunting at Wildlife Resource Management Services, where they have their own unique way of dealing with the law. Thomas is encouraged with the pictures of great deer taken by guide and outfitter Gerald Altman. Thomas and Gerald start out by taking a little scouting tour around the area.
Deer right there. That's a good buck.
Good deer in the back.
Yeah, he is. He's a bigger body deer too. There's still more deer. God, look at the deer. They're still coming.
Let's go up a little bit further, going around and see if we get a better look at him.
Okay.
After doing his road scouting, Thomas decides he better get a close-up look before he selects a blind location.
I want to get in this general area somewhere. There's a lot of deer been through here. Nothing like getting in their living room. He's a little small. Hope his dad comes by, but he's gonna be bigger this year himself. This isn't bad at all right in here. Obvious sign doesn't hurt. Got some little cedars in here to kind of break our outline up. Get the camera hidden good in here. The mesquite flat we've been seeing a lot of deer is back behind us. These deer will come down through this low ravine, through these hardwoods. Gives them a little cover and head in there. Get set up here and get everything done. So tomorrow afternoon we just slip in and be ready to go. Get this out of the way. I don't want to clear too much, but enough where I can see. The whole idea of why I like these little cedars, they really break you up. Just get it where I can see over the top of it. This'll work good.
This morning it was 75. Now it's about 30. Wind chill's about 7 degrees. This ought to get things kicked off though. Good strong cold front. Deer. The big toe in the front. Could be a buck behind them though.
Although Thomas has the deer in his sights, he's not comfortable with the obstacles blocking the shot. Not willing to take the risk, he decides to let this one go for another day. The following morning, Thomas relocates to an area where he had seen deer moving the previous day. After carefully spurring down all his gear, he's ready for what he hopes will be another great day.
Yeah, this would work right here. That wind's picking up some. It's a little breezy, but it's in our favor, so I can live with that. There's a buck coming in from the right. He's just a little buck. He's not a good one. There's a good one coming in behind him. I can't tell how good yet. He's a lot bigger than that first one. He's got some trash on his horns. He's come right on across. That looked like a good hit. I can hardly tell with all the smoke and everything. He just went out of the scope. Saw just a glimpse of him going that direction. It felt good. I'm gonna give him a few minutes. I'm gonna give me a few minutes. Oh, that's a good sight. I mean, when that powder went up, I couldn't see nothing. I couldn't tell if he was hit good or not. I felt like he was. Oh, man. Check this out. Check this. Pat, look at that. Look at that. I didn't have any idea it was that big. I could see something, but I didn't have any idea. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 points. From East Texas, when you hang a ring on it, we counted. I'm counting them. Oh, that's cool.
Hey, give me 5.
Thank you. You did an excellent job. Oh. Well, let's get a tag on him, get him legal, and to the truck.
Here's Pat Reeve with a primetime tip.
Here's a tip for you. This is something new I've been trying this year, is applying cover scent to the setup that I'm in. I don't like using deer urine because I don't want to attract the attention of deer, have them look up. So I apply a cover scent, and this is raccoon urine. Got lots of raccoons in this area.
I take the urine and apply it right to the bark, spraying it several different times. That way it soaks in and it lasts longer. Highly effective. Give it a try.
Greg Miller wraps up our hunting season with a late-season muzzleloader hunt in west central Iowa. Greg is good friends with the landowner who has taken many steps to increase the quality of his deer herd, which is evident by the impressive sheds he has collected over the years. He takes Greg out to the area to show him the setup.
Yeah, what we've got a 12-acre alfalfa field. I put the back probably 3 acres into the clover. The deer are bedding on all these ridges. The main feeding area is going to be that inside corner. You ought to be able to tell right where the clover ends and the alfalfa begins.
I imagine they got it all tore up. I can see from here.
Yeah.
The deer have got it all pawed up there.
The area is almost unhuntable because there's so many deer in there, and with the funny winds with all the deep bowls. So what I've done is I've built a ground blind up this drainage where it forks out.
Yeah.
You'll come up out of the creek bed and you'll end up looking right into the corner where the clover's planted.
Great.
Well, from there you should be able to see.
And we've got the right wind for it. We've got northwest wind.
Yeah, the wind should flow right down into the creek bed.
Well, it just looks like it's a matter of going and sighting in the gun and getting our gear ready, and sounds like a good spot to start out, Joe.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, man. I started muzzleloader hunting about 3 or 4 years ago, and it really does give me the option of spending a little more time out in the woods, and it's at a time when it's post-rut, winter activity, cold weather, snow, and I love that. I've always loved hunting in the snow, hunting in the cold weather. I like the challenge of hunting in post-rut situations. I do a lot of it. The muzzleloader is a new twist. Yeah, it increases your range a little bit, your effective range, but you know, with the muzzleloader, you still got to be pretty meticulous with cleaning your weapon, sighting it in, doing all these things, making sure that thing is shot a few times, then cleaned, and it's really a lot of, you got to pay close attention to a lot of small details, and I kind of like that stuff. It's a real hands-on aspect of the sport, and the challenge of hunting post-rut winter deer, I love it. I love it. I always have, and I always will. We're in west central Iowa, and it's the 3rd of January, 2001, late muzzleloader season, and we're in a ground blind, rather elaborate ground blind. We're overlooking a alfalfa/clover food plot. The deer have been hitting it big time. It's been real cold here. We had a warm up today. It's melting some of the snow off the top of the clover, so the deer are really hitting this. We got in this blind real quietly. Didn't disturb the area, right out of a creek bottom, right into the blind. We got 4 or 5 days here, and we're counting on this being one of our better stands. So we're just going to sit tight here and hope these deer filter off the ridges where they're bedded up in front of us and come down into this clover field to feed before dark. We've got a definite shooter out there here. He's coming closer now. Hopefully he'll follow that smaller buck right down along the edge. Last one, that next one coming out looks like a mature deer too. 2 of them. Wow. Cool. Is that cool or what? Getting up into that leggy branch. Are they those 2 other ones? Oh yeah, right over his back. Don't break your horns. I don't think they're as big, are they? No, they're small. I'm gonna have to shoot him, Pat, I think. And let him get up here a little ways. We got a lot of time. This is unreal. It's remarkable. I mean, just his neck. He's so much bigger than the
year-olds and that 1.5-year-old. Oh, they're gonna push. Ah, this shouldn't take long. This shouldn't take long at all. Oh, he's pushing him. He's backing him up. Tell me they're gonna get locked up. Don't go that way. He's 110 yards right there. Okay. He's out in the open. Oh, wow. He's wide open for me. I can't believe that buck challenged him like that. Hope he doesn't run him off when he gets done fighting. Come some more bucks. Do you believe that? I don't know what spooked him. I had all those bucks out there. We just had, I don't know, 8 or 9 bucks out here in this clover field. And some more deer came running up from the south here and spooked them. They ran back up in the timber and we're out of light. We're done for the day. We had those bucks out there for over half an hour. Just watching them, figuring this was a done deal. Guess that's the way it goes sometimes.
On Greg's second day, he sees deer right away, but they are accompanied by a flock of gobblers that would make any whitetail hunter want to take up turkey hunting. This day would not produce the buck he wants. Greg's last day of the hunt is promising due to favorable winds and getting into his blind several hours earlier than previous days.
What we got here is we got a good 2 hours before dark, and we've got 7 or 8 deer out in the field. We had a bunch of does out here for the last hour. Now in the last 5 minutes, we had three nice bucks walk out, probably 2.5-year-olds. And we think that's real encouraging because last night we didn't see a buck, any buck, until just about dark. So we're 2 hours ahead of the game tonight. What is he doing? He's gonna go up there and see. Look at now, he's got the other one agitated. There he comes back. His bucks are like, what are you doing? Knock it off. That doe doesn't get too shook up, does she? Look at that. We must have, I don't know, 10, 12 deer out in front of us. We've got 2 rack bucks that are borderline shooters, and a bunch of does and 1 smaller buck, some fawns that are running around like crazy out there. And we got some deer coming down over here, Pat. Right there. There's a doe and a fawn. There's a good buck right behind him, Pat. Right there. He's gonna come out in the field right there. Oh yeah. It's a big 8-pointer. He's coming right out in the field. He's going out. He's all puffed out. He's gonna go challenge those other bucks. That's cool. Wow. He's out there about 65 yards. Okay.
just take my time. There he comes. He's coming up out of the ditch. He's walking up to the hilltop. He's going to be right out in the open. Here we go. Well, I'll tell you what.
All right, bud.
I'd say what? 65, 75 yards. The old Thompson center. One shot, and I mean, he's down for the count. And I know you want me to sit here and tell you about the hunt a little more, but I want to get out there and look at my deer, so I hope you can understand. I want to get out there. Oh, what a great deer. There's the blind right there, the deer right here. 65, 75 yards maybe. Right on the money. Ironically, I'd ranged a deer right in this spot earlier in the evening. Look at this. Look at this. What a great late muzzleloader kill. Late season muzzleloader kill. 8-pointer, white-horned 8-pointer, long tines, good beam length. A little busted up, I can get that fixed. Got a great taxidermist that can fix that up for me. Just a great deer. Look at this. Wow.
Finally got him.
I tell you what, we've worked our tails off here the last few days. Anybody who's hunted post-rut late season whitetails can sympathize with us and what we've been through hunting food plots and I mean, things don't always work out. These bucks are super shy and it's just all come together. And as you can see, we're right at the end of the day here and he came out with plenty of light. He's the buck we came to Iowa for, I guess. And I'm tickled to death.
We're at Arrowhead Ridge Lodge with Jim Loftus, the owner, and John Will, the ranch guide here. And that coffee's dark. God. What'd you do? We're on some monster whitetail bucks here at Arrowhead Ridge Lodge with Jim Loftus, the owner, and John Will, the ranch guide. And I forgot what I was going to say.
Here's what we got. We've got a lush alfalfa field up here, actually on this side hill. We've got a late planted soybean field down below us, and Pat, it's snowing. and somebody's got dandruff. Well, I wish somebody left some toilet paper in there.
Wild invasion by cows. For some reason, cows seem to be attracted to my truck. After last year's Iowa deal, there's enough of them. They might pick my truck up during the week. We need to go though because we got some deer up here, been running around. We're gonna try to cut them off and get in the woods on them, get set up. Hopefully they'll work down this way. These cows, they won't attract any attention.